Let's now shift to categorical data instead of numerical data. And we have several categorical variables. We have the mound gym, the level, the stretch windup, and the plate location all being categorical. Let's look at the plate location though. So I'm going to copy the plate location over to the Analyzing Plate Location tab. And first we want to get a hold of the plate location by using some numbers. As an intermediate discussion, let me just talk about stretch windup. Let me bring that over here just for a second. Okay, it's an easier categorical variable to think about because it is only two values, wind up or stretch. So if I said, what is the average, the mean, wind up? You add up and divide by how many there are, but that's not numerical. So when you have categorical data, the mean does not make sense. Now, this is tricky because you can technically find the mean of these numbers. The thing is, it means nothing. Like I could do equals the mean of A. What's wrong? The mean of, I do that all the time. Excel calls it average. So the average is about 8, but what the heck does that mean? Let's look at this. The average is 8, but these are not in a numerical order. So even though you can get the number 8, that doesn't mean anything as far as taking some values from the small numbers and averaging it out with the big values. That just doesn't have an interpretation here. So when you have categorical data, the mean does not make sense. Now the mode does make sense. If I took the mode, for example, of B, it's gonna, we'll do that later. Right now, let's take the mode of what we're interested in, which is A. So what's the most common number? The most common number is 10. Let me go back to the README. So the most common pitch is an upper right strike, a high on the right side strike. I can't figure out if it's in or out of the right-handed batter. Like, that's just too much for me to do when I'm on video. Okay, so we have the most common pitch is a strike up, and is it in or out? Up and on the right side. My husband would be so disappointed. Okay, we can figure that out later. What is the maximum? Again, if it was the maximum of the stretch windup, that doesn't make sense. Like, which number is the biggest? Same thing with categorical data. Maximum is not a thing. Minimum is not a thing. We don't have any of these statistics for categorical data. So we have to really look at an analysis a different way. So this mode does measure like the center, which one is the most common. But we're going to have to really depend on our graphs here to get a sense of other of how to visualize this data set.